Say the load may look very heavy, yes, and the road may seem very long. As you know, success don't come easy. You got to work and struggle on. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It is hard for someone to love you.
Yeah, one green.
If you don't love yourself. If we want because you're to break through, we got to let the Lord know ourselves. We might show more love for the things we hold, for their future is our concern. And so let me love and get free and to live for the next generation. Let me love. Oh, we must nurture. When we love. Then we're on the road to a brand new world. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, and Trinidad, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web. A pleasant good day to you. Yes, of course, my apology for the tardiness of tonight's commencement, but it is due to circumstances beyond mine and our control. You see, I have a team that I work with that, of course, I indicated that I was extremely tired today. And even though, of course, the time we reached for the inauguration or for the beginning or the commencement of the program, they felt that in the interest of health, that I should take an extra nap. So, of course, that cost you at least a little half an hour. But we will, of course, complete at 9:30 because I have to, of course, get my sleep. And I want to say this today, my day started at 2 o'clock this morning, yes, because things are so frenetic, things are so important, things are so critical that we have to burn the candle, so to speak, from both ends. And so, of course, engaging in what some people may say ungodly hours in order to get things done is a reality. Of course, there is the other concept that work though dead, man does dead, and I accept that. But when, of course, there is a crucial time, as one ambassador told me, a Canadian ambassador, he said to me, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And therefore, I consider myself to be tough. I consider myself to be made out of that stuff that, of course, hardy people are made, indurate people are made of. All right, so don't vex with me. If I risk, of course, health in order to, or should I say, some sleep or some good rest in order to deliver to you on a nightly basis. That is how it is. And that, of course, speaks to commitment, dedication, and the need to make certain that we live a better life, and that is what it is all about. I want to say, of course, just like some of you, I am not satisfied that the things are well thought out, generally speaking, but I want to also zero in on the fact that the government is on the right path, the good intentions, but of course there are some nuances, there are some challenges, there are some difficulties that may or may not have been an oversight or may have been overlooked. And it is the responsibility of persons like I, speaking from a grassroots perspective, speaking from one that, of course, is nestled where the air is rare in terms of the community that the efforts that would be made serves, and therefore I believe that there could be no better positioning as the existentialist sociologists will also indicate, as well as, of course, those persons who engage on a daily basis, persons at the lowest rung of the socio-economic and psycho-cultural ladder. After all, experience is the best teacher, and it will be foolhardy, let me repeat, it will be foolhardy of those who suddenly started to put their heads in the sky, in the clouds, and forget where their feet is anchored, and only, of course, to have it removed from under them. I say no more, except to say, of course, I want to share with you a video made by in a press conference that Stuart Young would have had. Let's go straight there. Of course, the line is open immediately. I want to say because of the tardiness or the late start. But of course, let's hear Stuart Young as he, of course, babbles, and he expressed, of course, what I consider to be diatribe and putrid verbally in this cacophonous babblings that he would normally do. A total buffoon, a total moron. He has been so in government under Rowley. He has never moved from under Rowley, even when Rowley gave him, of course, the position of Prime Minister. Even in those circumstances, undeserving.
Thank you, Honourable Penelope Beckles, Leader of the Opposition and Member of Parliament for Arima. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to members of the media and to the wider viewing and listening public of Trinidad and Tobago. I'd like to start by saying that any positive development for Trinidad and Tobago, anything that will progress Trinidad and Tobago in the right direction, is something that the PNM will obviously be happy about and encourage.
Now, isn't that reminiscent of what Rowley would say? Everybody knows about everything. They are expert in everything. And then, of course, they proceed to express contradictory remarks. Well, listen to the contradictory remarks. First, he says the PNM will, of course, support anything that is positive. But when you listen to what he has to say, you would know that there is a built-in, or put another way, there is a contradiction to that particular opening salvo, indicating that the PNM will be, of course, a supporter of anything positive. That is just an attempt to be politically, one, and two, diplomatically correct. But at the end of it all is diatribe, hogwash, putrid, and of course a cesspool of a verbal, what I consider to be stench that is of insignificance.
I'm starting with the whole dragon gas issue and smiling at the irony of what we're dealing with here today. Because to take your minds immediately back to President's House, just a few months ago, after the swearing in of a cabinet, and none other than the Honourable Prime Minister announcing to the world at large, Dragon was dead with glee, Dragon is dead, and that they would pursue gas in Grenada, Guyana, and Suriname, and that is where they would be. We find ourselves right back here today. It is this PNM administration that did the hard work and the legwork from 2016 all the way through to 2025 with respect to the pursuit of the Dragon gas field, which I want to remind Trinidad and Tobago, because it is obvious that the government will mislead you and the government will be akin to snake oil salesmen. The Dragon gas field is completely within the maritime borders of Venezuela. The Dragon gas field is completely owned by the people of Venezuela. And it is the PNM government that negotiated through very difficult and trying times and managed in December 2023, after many years, to obtain a 30-year exploration, production, and export of gas license from the Dragon field to Trinidad and Tobago waters. That license, which was published by the Venezuelan government and gazetted, and it was the same Minister Munilal, then opposition member Munilal, who with glee was circulating it in public. It was published in Spanish in their gazette in Venezuela. Should read the terms of this 30-year license. So the first point is the Dragon gas is owned by Venezuela and completely, the field is completely situated in Venezuela, and they have the rights to the gas and the gas field. That is.
So first and foremost, people, let us get it clear. Is that news? Why is he emphasizing on that which we all know already? And that, of course, not only, just in case, to put the record straight, not only was he and Rowley pursuing Dragon Gas, the Dragon Gas deal pursuit was there since Manning time. And then Kamala Prasad Bisesa. And then of course, they came into office in 2015 and continued to pursue it. So, again, you see, of course, not just intellectual, but you also have historic dishonesty already up front. But let's go straight to the line. President, good night. Welcome to the corridor transformation.
Good night, good night. They got Martin inside.
Yes, man, go ahead.
Corruption. And yes, get the 32 pages of the AGC and Ralph Gonzalez, boy. You mean they get 3 houses? You get one yet, Lennox?
They got what? They got what?
3 houses, the Ralph Gonzalez family.
Wow.
From the AGC.
That was when, on the pretext that this government, the then government, was trying to help St. Vincent, having been ravished, I think, by, if I'm not mistaken, I think it would have been a volcano as opposed to a hurricane. Wasn't it that?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
This is his wife, his child, his son and daughter.
In Trinidad or in St. Vincent?
In Trinidad, HDC.
Oh, in Trinidad. All right. Because, you know, there was a community that this country under Manning assisted, and they called it, of course, the Manning, I think they named it after Manning. So I thought it was that you were referring. But go ahead.
No. This is a big scandal. That alone should cause him the election in St. Vincent. Because the question is, has he declared it in his integrity and public life in St. Vincent?
I see where you're going. I see where you're coming from. But go ahead, my friend. I see where you're going.
The fact is, his son got it, his daughter got it, and his wife. You know, his wife is a Trinidadian.
All right.
And they looked at, they get apartment and a house apartment in Victoria Keys.
Okay.
Signed off by AGC. Trinidadians can't get house, and they given political. That is why he's so close, and he was batting for KCR.
Right.
So that is so serious. Was that a protocol that basically collude to defraud the HDC houses at the expense of other nationalities? Not nationality Trinidadians who crying out for houses, and they expose them. The man's wife have a bank account of $414 US in a Barbarian's account. No.
Okay.
When you get in houses at ADC, you can have so much money in your bank account and you want to declare. Boy, it is. I hope they send it for you. I go send it for you.
Yeah, just for me, I need to see it because one of the other criteria that came to mind immediately is that you ought not to have any real estate at all in order for you to qualify for HGC accommodation. Go ahead.
The Douglas has also said the wife had property in Pity Valley. And you know he is doing research, and you know he is doing research. So all the letters is I think the thing that's going around, the WhatsApp message that's going around.
All right.
Is a commentary by Ken Ali.
Oh, I see.
So somebody said it for me, and I know before I come on and say, let me talk to you about that. I'll send it here.
Yeah. Well, I want that it needs to be aired as widely as possible and as expansive as possible, because these hypocrites regionally, etc., because one time, of course, the whole question as to why he would be so vociferous and so insistent on the Caribbean being a zone of peace there's some nexus between some special favor and of course falling out of favor with the present administration that has taken a different position in the interest clearly of Trinidad and Tobago. But go ahead.
Because one of the things is, I know they're getting free oil and things from Grenada, but are they getting, free oil from Venezuela? But is this Maduro man giving them money in a foreign bank account? Because they're so adamant of supporting him, the dictator, where about 50 countries say the man is a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
The opposition has produced evidence that shows that Maduro lost the election. Maduro, as of today, has not shown or released the statement of polls to show if he actually won. Unlike what KCR and them wanted to do in Ghana, interfere with the statement of poll until the Americans stop it. So you saw the statement of poll that the then opposition won.
Yeah. Well, of course, the difference between Guyana and Venezuela is that Venezuela, Maduro, he appointed his own judges. Right? Yeah. But in this case, in Guyana's case, we have, of course, independent judges right here in Trinidad that houses, of course, the Caribbean Court of Justice. Go ahead. I just thought I should interject that. Go ahead.
Listen to this argument and see if you can follow me. The opposition in Venezuela, given all the evidence to show that they legitimately won it, right?
Yeah.
And we not accepted what the opposition said in Venezuela. And we have an upside down opposition in Trinidad. Do you think we should accept what they say? If you don't want to accept what Venezuela opposition says, why should we in Trinidad accept what you say?
I hear you.
Understand that?
I hear you. I see the direction of your argument. Go ahead.
Right. So anything comes out of the mouth of the opposition, we have to run them because they don't want to give a say about the Venezuelan opposition, which given you credible evidence to show the man Maduro is the dictator lost the election.
Yeah, but more than that, my friend, are you not concerned, as I have been, and any rational thinking Trinbagonian or any part of the globe, that the silence on those matters by persons who are claiming that they do not want, or put another way, they want the Caribbean community or the Caribbean area to be a zone of peace. Why have they not been talking about these things that would show a different light, or at least put some balance as to...
Right.
Please address that, because it is important that people know that And I think one of the efforts
Why
that we are making is
why
in
did,
that direction.
why didn't CARICOM go to Maduro? They're running down all the time and ask him, please release the statement of faults. That's all they had to do. And everything, once he released the statement of faults, we will see if he won the election and everything will
And they
be
never did.
resolved.
None of those so-called former leaders, current leaders, they never did. And Abdullah and, of course, Roger playing the damn fool, the ass, in, of course, about a handful of them in Woodford Square, claiming that they are having some kind of vigil that was almost not attended because Roger and all didn't go. But yet still they have this amorphous, this asinine, this contradictory position
let me-
that does not make sense. But go ahead.
They should have do a census of those less than 200 people there and find out for them how many of them have US visas. And say, well, you all show us, you all take in your passport and share out the visa. Don't take or ask the Americans to give you any visa to go abroad there. And ask so much of them just go in the bank for US dollars. To do what? So they shouldn't ask for US dollars so they go free having foreign exchange. The other two topics I want to talk quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what our country has been experiencing, and you know why the PNM has caused us to go down a path that if we don't redress it now, we could end up a problem. The fourth estate. You know what everything through the lens of a PNM, through a PNM lens.
Yes.
So they benchmark everything from the vantage of a PNM looking at it, and they fail to understand what is really looking outside the box. We have to forget thinking and watching things through a PNM perspective. We have to transform everything and, as we say, mash it up and rebuild. The PNM has failed us for 70 something years. No, but final thing, and this is what I am very, very annoyed at. And I'm going to start a movement to reconstruct the TTPS. I think the TTPS is a damaged organization. And let me give you all some dots to connect.
Go ahead.
The day of policing, the majority of those people who participated in the day of policing, when they went to the JLSC, they were mum. Any question they asked them about the subordinate and the charges, they couldn't answer what they're doing. So that first thing tells us they were not in control of the subordinate. You catapult them into leadership, the DCP and the ACP, outside our newly minted thing. They all seem to be failing. So that is why I'm saying we have to take the bull by the horn and make some decisive action. The Police Service Commission is failing. They have things to do with discipline senior officers. A lot of them, the DCP and INI and administration has to go. You know why? For the last 10 to 12 years, we continue to spin top in mud, continue to make excuses, and they continue to use the communication tool to regurgitate all the strategies that have been failing. Our present commissioner cannot do it by himself. We need a project management team to help him move forward. Everybody has to be thinking on the same page. Let me show you how it is functional. ASP Hernandez, you remember he won his lawsuit, right?
Uh-huh.
Because that the man who was in charge, basically, the head man in Salt, he won it. And you know, in his affidavit, he said there were senior officers who charged him to avoid them being considered for a senior position in the police service. They reinstate him now.
Uh-huh.
How can he function when the police service has not addressed his concern in his affidavit? He has those seniors still over his head. Do you think he could function? And you have a lot of police, very bright police, who are using the court to show that, that what the police service is doing is fraud. All the ASP promotion has been put on hold.
Yes, because of the flawed process. Everybody start
Right.
with
And what
a
the judge
mark
said,
for.
what the judge said, that flawed process would have thrown out incompetent people. And those incompetent people has been catapulted into the leadership of the police service. So you see how frightening it is? I remember I interfaced with an ASP on a TV program because the way he performed, I asked him directly, did you pass the police exam? He didn't answer. He told me he believed he did well because I am sure he failed because that is what happened. They didn't do no performance appraisal. They moved it to the second system with the exam. Only 12 of them passing the exam, and then the DCP of administration got advice from a fellow by the name, the TP president, I won't call his name, who advised her, and they dropped those two phases, the performance appraisal, the 50% mark, and they went to interview to select people. So you see how everything is screwed? And I sure most of them policemen who went to the interview had the ballistic card in the pocket, and as the bend down and fall out, so they know who they had to choose.
Right.
Oh God, that's been facetious.
I hear you, my friend. I hear you, my friend.
I and a lot of citizens have to agitate for immediate removal of the Police Service Commission and disciplines those officers who are not fit to be in leadership. Go on, have a nice night.
Yes, man. But of course, in such circumstance, of course, it is called, of course, a runaway horse. They become an island unto themselves. I had some discussions, of course, with some people today of appropriate repute and, of course, expertise in the whole question of management. And generally, they have identified most of the institutions, public institutions, that are supposed to operate independently as dysfunctional. And that came as a consequence of mediocrity that would have been promoted over a very long time, where square pegs and round hole end up, of course, becoming managers and leaders, and therefore, because of their incompetence, are unable to lead and to command the respect, and so the entire process breaks down. So I empathize and I understand where Mr. Diego Martin is coming from. Of course, the line is open. I'm trying to get another video in the meantime, but let's continue with Stuart Young in the meantime to, of course, get an assessment of his contradictions that he would, of course, express in that concern about dragon gas, and, of course, accruing to him and Rowley and the PNM something about the dragon gas. They can't help but looking for self-gratification in a scenario where, of course, they have absolutely failed. Where is it blasted dragon gas? Where is it? Where is it? That is the issue. They're always talking. You have a revenue authority. They are saying that has been foregone by the present administration, and that's a source of income. But it was never tested. Go ahead, my friend from the United States.
Mr. Lennox, I just locked in, man. I was in the grocery here.
All right, okay, man.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
I heard I know I'm not trying to change the program. I
Yes.
heard something from Arnold Roberts today. It was very, very. I sent a video on it. It's
Thank
about
you,
Ross
because the
Ross
previous
Gonzalez.
caller did say that he would do it. I will check it out. Yes, go ahead.
Ralph Gonzalez was the St. Vincent Prime Minister, right?
Yeah.
His children was buying HTC house over here. With all his children and himself. And Elrond bust them out.
Wow.
I,
And
I sent a video for you, man. It was I don't know how you will get that. No, I'm telling you all over the internet.
all right.
Hang on.
You said it.
How
You said it just now.
The house of here and they live in St. Vincent. And the Prime Minister.
Yeah. How is that possible?
Man, there's a lot of racket going on with Raleigh and all of them. That's why they bunched up together. Lennox, just to check I sent it for you today.
All right.
I sent it on.
I'm trying to open it now to see whether.
I'll hang up the phone. I'll call you back because I only speak up phone and I'm driving home. I'll call you back.
All right, my friend. All right. Okay. Thanks.
Check it out.
Yes.
I'll tell you, man. It's very, very. You
I'll
have to
do
see that, man.
I'll do that. The caller that was now calling, call again, please. And let me see if we can get you on the system so that we can get a better audio and a better quality at the end of the day in terms of making certain that the audience. Right, good. Let's go there. Mr. Faizabad, a pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
A pleasant good night to each and every one. And in all is sundry, east, north, south, and the Caribbean zone of peace. And all is the Caribbean zone of peace, if all could donate a little dollar, one EC dollar to Uncle Lennox, so he could keep the peace. So Uncle Lennox, you see, it have a slang. They say, who pay the piper, call it tune.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So here what's going on. So tomorrow I go down and send you a $25. So I could call it tune.
I hear you.
Because here what's going on now. Ralph Gonzal the other day, when my esteemed political party, UNC and proud, yellow is the code, and when UNC win, everybody win. Ralph Gonzal bust up his mouth and saying that the money that we have here, the farmers are them see trouble when they sell we produce. So what now we're seeing on other mainstream media and YouTube is hearing the kind of racket and inducement Ralph Gonzal getting a quality name because it's Ralph Gonzal. Right? Is not a name? Because here what's going on. How it is a Trinidadian had to wait 20 and 40 years to get a house in AGC. You had to get lottery, you had to get latrine, you had to get all kind of draws to get a house and see if you get a house. What I understand on social media, the man get 3. And he from St. Vincent. So I want to know that if the single market and economy, that we could get land in St. Vincent to buy and get house too. Because I wonder if all these adjustments is for him to bump up the gum and say that when Guyana and Venezuela, when Maduro wanted to go and take back half of Guyana, he was the mediator. And then when they tell Maduro he lost election, he was the mediator. And when Rowley negotiated with Biden, he was the one, the head of the Caribbean, to say that guns from the United States come through the Caribbean and it's killing we citizens. And that we had a seminar here that crime is a health. Yeah? So we have to see about that. And Ralph Gonzal was very vocal. So I'm now seeing why it is on that Manning time, he used to borrow money by a couple 25 million US here, a little 10 million US here, in the name Aliyat. And I was wondering, why he joined with Rowley and talking now and so vocal about zone of peace. But the nice thing about it, zone of peace gone. Penny them say that they invade 2 Fridays ago in Venezuela, so others shop and buy, rush and buy and panic buy. Now Brian Manning saying that we thiefly father idea, and no Penny had nothing. So I will ask Penny if she wants something to say now. Where Camille Robinson Regis, because Camille Robinson Regis is missing in action and is 6 months in government, and after 6 months, right, absentee, I think the 90 days lapse now, we could call his seat vacant, and then we go back to the poll.
Hello?
So I want to know that when they're talking about zone of peace and that how we, government, they don't want to so put it that they recognize the United National Congress and our political leader as Prime Minister. I want them to understand that idiot Stewart, for 10 years, you had suffered the trainees and them, no uniform, no shoes, no tie pen, timely. Now you know how much nurses they take to man the award. Okay. But all of a sudden, under Rowley, your mouth was zip up. I want a nurses assistant when your election come to deal with you just like how they deal with kids.
I'll get back to you just
because all you're only playing with people's life. And it's CDC
here. I'll get him.
It's time the public and the working class call for the CPO to take a vacation. And it's time he must go. Because they're showing, now the CPO showing that he's an agent at the PNM. So, Uncle Lennox, you tell me, in the middle of a negotiation to start, you going on a vacation, you're out of the country, and you say now when it's supposed to start? So you see how they set it up now to say that our political leader promised and he didn't get your money, that they didn't give you. So this is why when we call for all them students them who are on the board and in places that the PNM put them, they must go. This is what Uncle Andrews be talking about, that they must get the hell out of there and let we put the people to get the country going. Have a pleasant good night, Uncle Lennox.
Same to you, my friend. Same to you, my friend. My apology for talking through the presentation of that caller, but I just got a call from the Minister of Rural Development, so I thought it was crucial to, of course, take the call. And of course, the news was that the government has appointed, of course, our candidate, Robert Mitchell, to the Rural Development Board, and she was trying to get some information to try to present him with his instrument. As a consequence of that, I'll have to, of course, take some time to not only get back a number to her, but also to make sure that I get in contact with him. So I may have to preempt my tonight's program and try to get in contact with him so that we can make the necessary arrangements for him to receive his appointment. So let me just take this call. This will be the final call. I really will have to move into action because they want to do it tonight. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Yeah, Dr. Lennox Smith.
Yes, you'll be very brief because I have to go and try to get the candidate. They're trying to get him to give him his instruments of appointment to the Rural Development Board, and they have not been. They just called me during the program to let me know that. Then go ahead.
Well, I now come on your program because listening to Professor Wall Street.
Yes.
Yeah, but this morning I was listening to Stefan program this morning. He came down.
Yes.
And luckily I was on the program. Listen to it. But what I want to draw to your attention, which is very important.
Go ahead.
Which is very important. We had Felicia Thomas, the PSA head, at the union. He called them because he was in Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that there was a headline in the papers where the Minister of Finance mandated the oh gosh, the man who does do the negotiation for union, oh my God.
Oh yeah, the CPO.
The CPO, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The
Yeah.
CPO. That they should meet, right?
Mm.
To settle the negotiation. And well, they're starting at a minimum of 10%. They're supposed to start at 10%, right? That's the minimum with the agreement, with the CPO. Well, she came on the program and she was saying that they were getting delays. What the CPO was telling her that they're doing some checking, so checking up the money now for the 10%.
Yeah.
So I put 2 and 2 together right away, and I realized that how he could talk about 10% when they ain't meet yet. You have
Yeah.
to meet and negotiate.
Yeah, but that's what she said. And the procrastination is, she said,
Yeah, they're
is
trying to
too conspicuous. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I seen there that somebody there is trying to stall the negotiation so that the membership will not get the 10% or whatever they settle for before Christmas. And I strongly believe that the PNM have a hand there. They have their hand in the cookie jar and everywhere.
Well, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. That's all I can say.
Yes, but as you say, I'll cut short. And I'll call you another time.
Yeah. People,
Sorry
of course,
about
I will have to preempt now the program because this is too important not to attend with immediacy, having regard to what the minister just told me, Kadisha Amin, and trying to get in contact, of course, with the candidate, love candidate, to give him his appointment, and that will be officially done possibly tomorrow. So I will have to, if I have to go a little distance from here, but if I can get back on time, I certainly would. So without further ado, of course, the program has been preempted until, of course, we are until tomorrow night. I don't forget, of course, that tomorrow morning the ground report, Andy, Mikey, and myself. Bye bye. See you then. And let me just conclude in the way that we started. I simply have to attend to this matter, and I alone can do it at this stage. All right. So thank you very much, of course, for being such a good audience and understanding as well. Let me just end with yes.